Hello and welcome back to my channel. If you're returning, if you're new, welcome. I'm so glad that you're here. My messages are meant mainly for confirmation with a little bit of sprinkles. If you're finding yourself sitting with a bowl of sprinkles and you're like, maybe this one, and you're really sifting and sorting and really trying to make the story fit, then it's probably not for you. With that being said, do take what resonates and leave the rest for those that it's meant for. I did not tap into the energy beforehand. Spirit said to just go for it. So we're going to go for it. Without further ado, let's tap in. All right, taking a step aside, letting Spirit pass through. Okay. Starting with Okay. We are going to start with this one. So I hope that you are all doing well. And let's see, what does the collective need to know? Okay. Having ring issues. Alright. Let's try this again. That's a lot. Okay. Okay, I'm going to take them all. Take it all. Okay. That's a lot to flip over. I normally don't take that many, but I'm feeling guided too. So, let's do it. All right, so the first card that came out was the Initiation, which is the Sacred Test. I'm going to go ahead and read it. All right. So, a worthy gamble, a sacred test, being prepared to risk it all. Initiations have been used for thousands of years. They represent your willingness to be prepared to risk everything to obtain greatness, and they also challenge you to see if you're ready to embrace the path before you. They aren't meant to be easy or fun. They're a test of your character, determination, and courage, and of your ability to face and overcome unexpected challenges. You may throw your hat in the ring and fail despite how hard you've trained or prepared, but that is the gamble required. You are not guaranteed to win, but you are guaranteed to lose if you don't try. You are in a period of initiation, or will be soon. The universe is challenging you to see how well you handle your circumstances. Like finals in school or an entrance exam, you must prove you are ready to embrace the bigger challenges that come with bigger goals. Your situation requires you to be calm, confident, logical, strategic, and to stand your ground in the face of adversity. The more positive side of this card is that an initiation means the end of one journey and the beginning of a new one. Many of your current obstacles are coming to an end, therefore, this is a card of hope and good things to come. Okay, pairing with this card that came out, which is Cast the Circle. Let me make sure. Okay. Oh, you can kind of see it. Hold on. There we go. It says to follow the rules. Now is not the time to take liberties or challenge the status quo. Follow the established order, which can help you get ahead faster. Okay, so the next one that came out was Mud and Moss, which is stagnation. The one right after that came out was Poison Thorn, which is low vibrations. And then Cast the Circle, which is the one I just held up. That was the fourth one out. And that is raising vibrations. So a part of your sacred test right now could be going through a stagnant energy that might be more low vibrational, and then it's to raise the vibration in a way that is kind of tried and true. Let's see. Okay, so it says, everyone, no matter how joyous their life is, overall, experiences their unique version of rock bottom, that undesirable place where all hope feels lost and you're not sure how to pull yourself back up. It feels like quicksand or the thickest of muds. It's dirty, cold, and can feel like no one is around to save the day. Mud and moss appears in your reading when a similar experience is upon you and you're in need of an SOS. This card reminds you that although your circumstances may appear dire and you have sustained wounds, you can still pull yourself out of the mud. To do so, look to your inner strength rather than seeking a knight in shining armor. You are guided to do the dirty work yourself and be willing to take on the tasks that may have previously seemed beneath you. It can also mean doing the hard work you've been avoiding, like exercising if your goal is to lose weight, saving money instead of splurging if you want to be debt-free and financially secure, putting yourself out there on a dating app if you're seeking new love, or apologizing when you know when you're in the wrong. It's time to stop doing what's brought you here and try a new strategy. It only takes one thing to hold on to when you're slipping down into a dark place. When times are desperate, look for something around you solid to ground to and keep you steady. Commit to doing one thing until you reach the next step of your self-rescue. Take it one step at a time, and before you know it, you'll be free and back in the sunshine. Okay, so with the low vibrations card, this is Poison Thorn. Okay. When a finger is pricked by a poison thorn, the first thing to do is pull the thorn out, removing the source of the discomfort. The wound can't begin to heal if the thorn stays in place, and may even become infected, which can spread to other areas. Emotional traumas are a lot like thorns that have been left inside to fester. They continue to hurt, then spread, and before you know it, your entire being is suffering. It's time to let go of the hurt, trauma, and baggage you've been carrying. At this point, holding on to the past is causing more pain than the original event, leading to stagnation, self-sabotage, and self-destruction. You may even see your hurt affecting positive areas of your life. A bad breakup may result in lack of focus at work, or the sudden loss of a job could put strain on an otherwise healthy relationship. You can't change the hurt that has occurred, but you can do your best to begin to pick up the pieces. Self-help author Bob Proctor says, if you see it in your mind, you will hold it in your hands. Therefore, if you choose to focus on the pain, that is what you will continue to find. But if you release the cause of the hurt and learn to find the light in the darkness, you give yourself not only the chance to heal, but to learn the truth of how strong and rare you are. Okay, when in combination with this card, which is Forgotten Ghosts, hopefully you can see it. The suggestion is reconnecting with the past will lead to heartache. So there could be a lot of attachment right now to the past. Sometimes when we've been hurt, it's easy to hold on to that story and to continue to pull in things in our experience that perpetuate that same storyline. And so it's kind of the idea of if somebody's in an unhealthy relationship and then they get out of that one and then they get into another relationship that has the same hurtful dynamic, but it's a different person. That's kind of what's going on, is holding on to this old stagnant version, these old wounds, not healing them, and then they carry on into our next phase. So with this raising the vibrations, casting a circle is a necessary step of spell work. This practice is how a witch guards their magic, protecting them from outside influences that would rather not see them succeed. The circle also amplifies a witch's power. It's a container that acts like a battery, giving you the energy you need to see real results. Casting a circle is a step that should not be avoided. This card is guiding you to do things the right way. Avoid cutting corners and follow the established order of things. You may be anxious and seeking ways to skip ahead of the hard work or shorten the amount of time you need to succeed, but doing so will hurt you in the end. Essentially, this is a measure twice and cut once card that ensures you have what you need before getting started. You may require additional resources or skills, or should consider continued learning. Taking these extra steps will help ensure you're properly prepared for the goals you are about to take on. Patience, compassion, and understanding will benefit you greatly in the long term. And then paired with the Forgotten Ghosts card, again, means that there's a second chance to do things the right way. Okay. Let's see. So this is for the Forgotten Ghost card. A ghost doesn't always have to be scary or sad. It can be a joy to reunite with something or someone from your past, even if how you left things was dreadful, disagreeable, or regrettable. You may run into a former friend and realize your falling out was immature and you're both ready to move on. Or perhaps you've picked up an old notebook and reconnected with goals you'd completely forgotten about, but would really like to work on again. Forgotten Ghosts appears in a reading when something from your past is left unresolved, but you are happy to see it or them back in your life, if your reading is about a specific person or love. It can mean reconnecting with the person you have asked about, but does not specify whether or not the relationship will work out. This card can also mean revisiting old projects, ideas, goals, or even returning to an old job. Be mindful as you journey through your past. Often things will come back to you in order to tie up loose ends or offer closure. Take notice of what is here to stay and what is just passing through, and be willing to let go when the time has come for your forgotten ghost to finally move on. All right, so the next one that came out was the Sacred Vows. Mystics are governed by higher laws. Spirit works through them, channeling love, healing, abundance, self-sovereignty, and compassion for humanity. It is these beliefs guiding the witch through life, and she is committed to honoring the task placed upon her shoulders. This card represents the driving beliefs behind your choices. What is your moral compass? What keeps you aligned to your soul's nature and gives you a bump when you're deviating from your path? What are you passionate about? What are you committed to? What moves you, moves through you, and inspires you? The sacred vows guide you to devote yourself to what brings you joy and pleasure, to do more of what excites you, embrace both the simple and complex joys in life, and allow the things that bring you rapture to be held in your life as sacred. Paired with Forgotten Ghosts, it means that someone from your past may ask you to do something or be something that is out of alignment with who you are. Alternatively, someone from your past may bring out bad qualities in you. I wonder if this is about a relationship. It's kind of giving me relationship vibes. There might be an, pull out my Clarifier deck. There might be somebody from your past coming back in to try and reunite with you. And so far I'm getting that might not be in your highest good. But we'll get some more clarification on that. So the last card that jumped out here was the spirits, respecting spirit. The spirits, your ancestors, spirit guides, animal teachers, star beings, and your entire spiritual support team are doing so much for you that the mind can't comprehend. This incredible community of support is moving obstacles out of your path that you didn't even know were there. They're positioning people who can help you before you know you need help. They're sending you nudges to be warned or to encourage you to take a leap. And they are available to you at any time, any day. And for all they do, they deserve the utmost love and respect. The spirits need to be respected the way you would your elders. You wouldn't go to your grandmother just because you need money, but ignore her the rest of the time. The same is true for your cosmic team. This card is about respecting spirit and living a spiritually led life, doing the work of checking in with your higher self before making decisions, listening to the guidance being offered, acting upon the guidance when it is given, and calling on spirit every day, not just in emergencies. The spirits have perspectives that you cannot begin to understand and useful advice that can make all the difference in your life. This card is an invitation to dig deeper into your spiritual practice, to turn inward, disregard the noise of everyday life, and lean on the support that is available to you. The more you listen, the more you'll hear. The more you nourish these relationships, the easier it becomes for them to show up for you. Additionally, this card guides you to use your heart, not your logic, to make decisions. And then in combination with the sacred vows, it's a need to reevaluate spiritual beliefs. Okay. So I'm picking up a couple different storylines here. One is if you're in this place of feeling disconnected from spirit in any way, shape, or form, it can feel very lonely. It can feel very sad. It can feel very hopeless. And so I'm picking up that for those of you that are on that timeline, it's really, really recommended to do what you can to reconnect. That can be in so many different ways. That can be walking in nature. That can be meditating, journaling, auto writing. You can turn on like some spiritual music on, and just look for messages. Listen. Another way that our spirit team communicates through us is through symbols. So if all of a sudden you're finding feathers, that's your guides, your ancestors, your, spirit, whatever you want to term it. That's a way of being like, hey, we're here. This is one of those, okay, a poem just came to me, and this is a poem I read a long time ago, and it's called Goddess Speak to Me. You can also say God, whichever fits. But basically the poem's about, I've got it over here, but it's about a person who's asking for signs and saying, Goddess, speak to me, show me you're here, give me a sign. And each time they ask, it's the wind, Goddess, speak to me, and then the wind blows. And then, Goddess, give me a sign, and then a leaf flutters in front. This isn't exactly the poem. This is just a general concept. But then at the end, it says, Goddess, if you're here, please give me a sign. And at the end, it's the person brushes the butterfly off their shoulder and continues to walk away. And so oftentimes when we're in this space of feeling disconnected, it's because we're not connecting. We're not looking. We're not seeing that we are being communicated with, that we do have guidance all around us, that we've got a team of boss level guides around us all the time, helping us through this journey. And just because we're not looking and receiving doesn't mean they're not there and helping. And so it can be as simple as asking for a sign in the mornings, like wake up and ask your team for signs. And then when you're driving to work, if a bird flies in front of your car, birds are huge messengers of the spirit realm. It can be, a feather. It can be a coin. It can be somebody turning to smile at you that is very like, oh, they totally just turned and smiled at me very intensely and then walked away. That can be spirit speaking to you through somebody else. It can be somebody giving you a compliment. Hey, I like your shirt. That can be a sign that spirit's communicating with you. So for those of you that story is for, the recommendation is really to pick up a spiritual practice again of some sort, whatever resonates, and make that more of a priority. That will help you out of this stagnation, out of this perceived rock bottom. It will help you lift these low vibrations, and it will help you heal past traumas a lot. I don't know. Easier, yeah. Quicker, for sure. By the pure act of surrendering those past traumas and hurts and, failed relationships, failed whatever. Surrendering that to your spirit team is a great act of self-love, and it's also an act of trust in your spirit team to carry you through some of these dark times that we face. And just know that you're not alone in this. It's always darkest before dawn, and there's always help and guidance around no matter what. And so sometimes when it feels like radio silence, it's because we're not paying attention. Then the other timeline that I'm picking up is a relationship of some sort. I am picking up more of like a romantic relationship, but it could be platonic. And I'm picking up that this is a different storyline. So for those of you who may be all of a sudden thinking about a person again, dreaming about a person again, this person may be coming back into your life. If this is your story, we can get a little more confirmation on this, because at this point I am picking up that it might not be wise to pick up where you left off. But I'm not really getting that it's not the recommended course of action either. And it could be because there's multiple different stories and timelines here. So maybe for some of you, this past relationship was very toxic. It was very not good. And there's a lot of hurt and pain there. And in that case, you'll kind of know. It might not be wise to jump back in and entangle with this person again. For those of you that maybe it was the right person, wrong time, again, this is going to just vary depending on the situation. What I'm getting, though, for regardless of the story when it comes to a relationship and somebody from the past coming back in, is don't jump in right away. Kind of take it one day at a time. Check in with your guides, check in with yourself, and really just use caution. And don't just jump back in and go into that space of, this time everything's going to be great and wonderful. Yeah, let's see. Let's get some clarification on this. Let's see if there's clarification on that one. Speak on that, Spirit. That's kind of, well, I mean, alright. When I cut the deck, it was Return to Sender, which is a pretty heavy card. There's only a few cards like that in this deck. Okay, so I don't know how I want to put this. And Twin Flame just popped out. Alright, that might be something. Okay, so you've got Return to Sender and Twin Flame. Okay. Alright, so with Return to Sender, this is going to be for a very select few of the collective here. There may be somebody in your energy that is kind of doing more nefarious stuff, we'll say. Normally a Return to Sender is going beyond somebody just giving you the evil eye out of envy or jealousy or, unhealed wounds. Oftentimes the Return to Sender is going to pop out when somebody is actively doing something kind of nefarious, like intentional. In that case, you're gonna know it. Some signs that this might be happening, that this might be your message, is if you're going through things where it's like, you have no real explanation for why you are angry, moody, and I mean, this goes deeper than, like, it's a spiritual attack, okay? Just being straight up. It's not just like, oh, it's a full moon, which it is today, and the energy's wonky, like, a little intense. This is, you might feel like random pains in certain chakras, like in certain areas of your body. You might feel like you might be purging randomly, headaches, like feeling ill in some way, but that doesn't have, like, obviously if you're going through physical symptoms, check with your doctor first, right? But this is going to be something that is not explainable by any of, like, our traditional, oh, it's a cold, it's a virus, it's a, I need more water, headache kind of thing. I didn't get enough sleep, so I've got a headache. It's not that. It feels very different. And a big way you can kind of tell is if you automatically cleanse your energy and you feel a little bit different. Okay, so you can cleanse your energy with sage. You can take a spiritual bath. You can take a spiritual shower. You can use crystals such as selenite. Selenite is an awesome crystal. And selenite actually will remove hooks from other people, will cleanse and shield your energy. And again, you can call on your guides to help with this. And so if you're unsure, this is what I would say, because you don't want to mess around with this stuff. So if you do a Return to Sender and they are not actively sending you nefarious energy, that will come back. And so this is where it's, I hesitate to even really recommend to do this. So a way to do it where you're not, if you're unsure, ask your guides to handle it and release it and say, okay, if somebody is sending me this energy in a nefarious, intentional way, I give this to you to deal with in whatever way you see fit, whether that's transmuting the energy so that it doesn't affect me, or whether that's an actual return to sender. I give it to you. If you know for a fact somebody is sending you some nasty energy intentionally, then you can do a return to sender. Just make sure you're doing it from a place where it's not vengeful, it's not a low vibrational intent behind it. Because again, when you're doing something like this, the intent and the energy behind it is what is of utmost importance. And so with that, just really make sure that you know for a fact it's happening. You've gotten other signs and synchronicities other than this reading. And just make sure that you really know for sure that something like that is happening, and then go ahead and do a return to sender. It's always good to check in whatever way that is for you, whether it's, muscle testing, pendulums, readings, prayer, whatever it is for you. Ask for the guidance, ask for the clearance to do so. Because oftentimes if you ask for that and then it's not somebody doing something intentionally nefarious, you will get told no. And we can get yuck energy from other people for all sorts of different reasons. And it doesn't mean that it warrants a return to sender. So that being said, if it does warrant a return to sender, do it. Just really, really check in and make sure it's not something going on within you that is appearing as though somebody's doing something nefarious. Okay. So that was a little bit of a side tangent there. Anyhow. That's for a very small portion. This other one that came out, and again, this is one that I'm hesitant to talk on. But twin flame did pop out, so I'm going to address it. With a twin flame journey, it's very common to hook up with your twin flame, not literally, like it can be, but you meet up and oftentimes you'll start to feel the other person coming in. Okay. You'll start getting like knowing signs and synchronicities, things like that. Then your twin flame will come in. Oftentimes on the twin flame journey, when you first connect with your twin flame, you'll ignite basically, and then separate for a while. Now, this doesn't mean like you guys were in a relationship, then you broke up, then you didn't see each other, and then they come back in. This can be, they come in, there's an intense connection, the timing's not right, so you become friends. You come in, you have a short relationship, it's really intense, and then, you kind of distance for a little bit. So with that, for another select few of you, this person that's coming back in could be a twin flame. Okay. Huge caveat. Just because it is a twin flame, if this is your story, that does not mean it is in your highest good to jump into a relationship with them. Okay. A twin flame connection is one of the most intense connections you can have in this physical realm, and it is not always in the highest good. So if that is your story, again, use your own discernment. Definitely check in with your spirit team about it. With that, it was recommended to follow your heart here. So if you have a knowing and it's like, okay, I know that this is the time, and it's syncing up, by all means, because the twin flame journey is one of the most rewarding. So it's one of the most intense. It's also one of the most rewarding. So, for a select few of you, awesome sauce, congratulations, and I hope I'm sending you all the best awesomeness for that, because if the twin flame part is for you, and your twin's coming back in, and the timing is right, huzzah. Like, it's awesome. Let's see if there's any other clarity here. Was not expecting this. Okay. So the other card that just came out was Soul Family and Soulmate. So with that, also saw sister and brother. So for some of you, it may be a sibling that maybe you haven't been talking to for a while, and that might be this person that's coming back in for a reunion. For others of you, could be a soulmate, soul family. This comes up a lot, like what's the difference between a soulmate and a twin flame? The biggest difference is soulmates, we have a lot of them. It's basically, it's a part of your soul group that you have traveled with for some time. And so there's like a recognition and knowing. Oftentimes soulmates are romantic. A lot of times they are not. They're platonic. They're your soul tribe, your family, your chosen family. So for some of you, it could be a soulmate coming back in. But I am feeling like this is a past person that's coming back in. Let's see if there's any more clarification here. Okay. We've got a lot of family. So we've got grandfather, or somebody from your paternal line. That may be who's coming back in. Some of this feels like a reconciliation, for some of you. Also air sign came out, so that might be confirmation for somebody. Gemini, Libra, Aquarius. So that could be you or this other person. You could have air heavily aspected in your chart as well, or this other person does. And I'll just spell. Let's see if there's any other clarification here. Maybe. Okay. Yeah, we've got a lot of family. We'll do that. Is there no? So father came out. So it definitely could be somebody on your paternal side. It could be your father. It could be a father-in-law. It could be stepfather. It could be a father, like father of your children. And then this just came out and it said, everything is always working out for me. Affirm. You know what? With that, no, we're still going to dig in a little bit and say I think that might have been the end of the message, but I'm feeling that a little more needs to pop. With this though, this is like, write this down, put it in your car, write it on your mirror and dry erase marker, say it repeatedly until you believe it. Everything is always working out for me, because it is. It always is. Even through the pain, you know, the wound is the place where the light enters. Yeah, it's one of the best affirmations. And it can help you at any point of your journey. So it's not like sometimes with affirmations, you know, I'm a multimillionaire, and then you're sitting there like, you know, my bank account's negative. And it's harder to jump from that to that, energetically speaking, and to believe it and to feel it and to hold it. But everything is always working out for me. You can use that at any point in your journey, no matter what's going on in your circumstances, because it's more open-ended, and it's also a way to just let you vibrationally jump a notch. So you're not trying to quantum leap constantly. It's, okay, well, yesterday I was depressed and now I'm just neutral. Like, that's still a pretty big jump. Like, that's ideal. That's an ideal jump to go from depressed one day to neutral the next. Like, that's a good ass jump. But, I'm a little bit depressed and then now I'm a little bit angry. Well, angry vibrationally on the chart, I just forgot the name of the chart, but if you look at, it's Spirit, help me here, please. What is it? I can see it. Is it Dolores? No, Dolores Cannon. I don't think so. Nope. If you look at vibrations of emotions, there will be a chart that pops up. It's very, very common to see now. But on that vibrational chart, depressed is like, it's not, well, it's a deep rest. So it's needing, it's a stagnate again with the stagnation. It's almost like not much movement, to where anger is a moving energy. So it sounds weird to be like, oh, actually anger is a step up from depression, but it feels better. I'm not advocating to be angry. It's just an example of allowing yourself to, especially when you're pulling out of this, acknowledge the process. And so sometimes it can be easy to be like, well, I was depressed yesterday and now I'm angry and I'm just a mess. Instead of looking at it that way, it's, okay, I was depressed, now I'm a little frustrated, now I'm a little bit angry, now I can jump a little further and be more in a neutral space. That's that climbing the vibrational ladder. And the more we stair step it, the easier it is. And so we're not trying to go from depressed to joy, which is a massive jump, energetically speaking. So with that, definitely use that affirmation. Everything is always working out for me, because it is. With that, let's see. Oh. Is this a past life connection that's coming back in? Is this past life wounds that need to be healed? I pulled out, the deck that I thought I was going to read from first was a past life deck. So with that reading that we just had, with that spread of cards, with somebody coming back in, it might be somebody from a past life that's coming back in as well, that is bringing up energy to be dealt with and healed and released. Again, with that, use your discernment and really ask for guidance. Ask for more clarification and take it easy. I'm really getting, don't jump into any action right now. Don't make any big life life decisions at the moment. Unless, of course, use your own discernment. So if it's, you've been waiting on a call back for a job, take the job. I'm not saying that. But if, you're kind of in this space of, stagnation and blah, and then somebody comes back in and then it's like, ooh, I'm going to jump into this. Use some caution and just kind of take a beat. If it's meant to be, it'll be. It's that salesman tactic kind of thing of you have to act right now. If it's meant to be, the offer will still be there. And definitely check in with your guys and your spirit team to ensure that the next step you take is what's in your highest alignment. We had some. Is there any clarity we want to give on any of these timelines, Spirit? you really want me... Hold on. Sorry, guys. Give me just a second. Okay. I'm in the northern hemisphere right now. Sounded random, I know. But we're coming into like Samhain, Halloween, All Hallows Eve, whatever you want to term it. It's when the veil's really thin and communication with the other side is easier. It's also a time to honor the ancestors. So that could be part of the energy that's coming back in as well. And so maybe think about doing something to honor your ancestors. Maybe, maybe somebody who passed recently. My condolences if that is your story right now. It could be a message to consciously connect with that energy. Maybe there's some healing that needs to take place there. And I'm specifically seeing the grandfather card, or the father card. So there might be something that is coming up to be healed with that energy. Anything else, Spirit? Okay. Okay, so I'm not getting any more clarification right now. That got a little intense there for a minute. If there's any more that needs to come through, I will post it as like a part 2 of this one, because I feel like there's more guidance to come through, but it's not fully coming through at the moment. And so sometimes what'll happen is I'll end a message and then the guidance will flood through. So if that does happen, I will link a part 2. If not, definitely the main message that keeps coming in is connect with your higher self, spirit team, God, universe, divine, spirit animals, ancestors, whatever you work with, or whatever you did work with, or whatever you're being called to work with, because that might be part of that first story that came through where it's a lack of connection with spirit in some sort. What can happen too is we'll connect with spirit in some way, and then that fades out and it doesn't feel quite right anymore. And so it could be an invitation to look into different modalities. There's so many different ways to connect with spirit. So that might be recommended as well, is to find what works for you, what's calling to you. It may be, learning how to contact your ancestors. It may be learning how to work with spirit guides. Spirit guides. I was going to say animal guides, spirit animals, but spirit guides came through. It could also be sacred signs and synchronicities and symbols. That's another very, very profound way to communicate and to get guidance in daily life. See a spiral or a circle or, certain symbols and different signs. You can create your own journal. And, if you see a feather, if you see a deer, if you see a spiral, if you see a triangle, you can start writing those down and kind of what comes through at the time. And then eventually, after doing that for a while, you'll look back and be like, oh yeah, okay, so for me, when I see a deer, this is the guidance. When I see a white feather, this is the guidance. When I see a penny, this is the guidance. Or, a coin, whatever. So, and that's for all the timelines. is to really, really connect with your spirit team at this time. They are geared up and ready to work with you. They already are. You just might not be recognizing the signs. So with that, that's going to conclude the message for now. Again, if more comes through, I will link it to this video. And with that, thank you so much for being here. I hope that this helped give you some guidance. Definitely let me know in the comments below if it did. And with that, I will see you on the next one. Thank you, thank you, thank you. I appreciate every single one of you. Thank you so much for being here. Bye!